So I finally got around to beating Earthbound. Not only was it a crazy game with even crazier characters, but its locations were also super charming and memorable. As someone who's played Smash Bros before even knowing what the Mother series was, it was really neat to see the familiar settings and their humble 16-bit origins. Let's not waste any more time and take a look at Onett and Fourside. Having appeared in 3 Smash Bros games, Onett is by far the definitive Earthbound stage. It's also one of the most iconic areas in Earthbound due to the fact that it's Ness's hometown and the starting point of the game. Heck, even the name lets you know that it's the first town. I mean, come on, Onett? 1TT? The Onett stage is kind of a mishmash of the town. The main area is the drugstore, albeit with a slightly different sign and with the second canopy added in. The drugstores are where Ness can shop for items and save the game. Oh, and for some reason in Smash Bros there's a rice ball hidden behind the flowers. Why is that there? No clue. This is also where the Omega version of the stage takes place, where you're on the roof of the drugstore. But hey, to the right instead of the burger shop, we get this teal house. That's not an Onett at all. You know what else isn't from around there? If you play around with the camera, you can see a white canopy in the foreground of the stage with a table underneath it. This actually comes from Berglund Park, a flea market in the town of Tucson in Earthbound. Though that's not the only tidbit from Tucson hidden in the foreground. Take a look to the right. While those might just seem like ordinary bicycles, Tucson is the only area in the game to feature bikes. But details coming from other areas in Earthbound is not exclusive to Tucson. For example, if you take a look in the background, you'll also see the digger found in the Dusty Dunes desert. Also in the background, we can see the hospital where you can revive dead party members, and though it's hard to make out the sign, that's clearly the hotel where Ness and company can heal themselves. Even further back, it looks like you can see the houses of both Ness and his enemy Pokey. Wait, what's up there in the distance? That looks like the meteorite that fell at the beginning of the game! And if we pan to the off-screen section to the right of the stage, you can see both the arcade and some tunnels. You can get a much better view of both of these in Melee's opening as well. Those tunnels originate from the town of Threed and have cars constantly entering and exiting them. The cars are the main stage hazard of the Onett stage, but were also present in Earthbound. Albeit there, the drivers are much better and don't damage you. There's the yellow taxicab, a couple of coupes, and the tour bus of the Runaway 5, who are a jazz band based on the Blues Brothers. Here's a couple of fun facts. There's a hidden sign to the right of the stage that reads, "Caution! A black van driven by this guy," one of the members of the Runaway 5, "has been spotted racing recklessly through town. Be careful." If that wasn't enough, you can see 2 members of the Runaway 5 in the Onett portion of Melee's opening. So while the stage features bits and pieces from Onett, Tucson, and Threed, the city of Fourside got a stage all of its own in Smash Bros. Melee. Fourside is a massive city filled with concrete and skyscrapers. Oddly enough, you can't seem to see any trees or even a park in the background. While barren, at least Fourside had some of those in Earthbound. The most notable tower in Fourside is owned by the mayor, the Monotoli building. This is where most of the fighting takes place on the Fourside stage, but the architecture is a bit different, and it's a bit odd that in Earthbound this is the tallest building in Fourside, but in Melee there are clearly other buildings that are taller in the background. The helipad also seems to have moved around, and a yellow helicopter will show up and land on this pad. This is the very same copter that was stolen by Pokey in Earthbound. But the helicopter isn't the only flying object to enter and exit Fourside. No, we also get treated to this UFO. This particular UFO is not in Earthbound itself, but rather its opening. Heck, it even uses the exact same sound effect. To the right of the Monotoli building, there is what we can assume is an apartment building. This design is lifted straight out of Earthbound, complete with the fire escapes. And to the left is a much taller version of the Dinosaur Museum, which is where Ness and his friends get access to the Fourside sewers. Now, many of you guys might be wondering why the Fourside level is shown during the night when it's always shown during the day in Earthbound. This is most likely a reference to Moonside, a large hallucination/illusion that Ness and his team encounter. This would also explain the neon green building in the background, as well as the giant full moon. Regardless, it's just a mystery. And do you know who solves mysteries? Well, secret agents, of course. Loot Crate is going covert this month with a box full of spy merchandise, including an exclusive piece of merch from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Orphan Black. Heck, I'm excited for this month just because S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of my favorite TV shows ever. Just go to lootcrate.com/theorists and use the code theorists at checkout and you'll save yourself some money on these awesome things. But when you're done with that, be sure to hop on over to my personal channel and check out my unpopular Assassin's Creed Black Flag opinions, or watch the last episode of Smash History where I talk about the universally hated Pac-Land stage.